welcome to the Liverpool Community Podcast. I'm your host, Chase Johnson Lynch. And as you know, we're just starting a new season here at Big Condo. And once again, we're interviewing people from the community that I would like to hear from, and I think you would like to hear from them as well. And sometimes that involves reconnecting with old friends and everything. And one such person is here with me today, and I'm here joined by writer Liam O'Brien. How you doing, Liam?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Well, Liam, it was great, you reached out and called and everything, and you were telling me about what you're doing. And I started to see some of the events that you were putting on, and I was like, oh my God, Liam O'Brien. I remember this man when he was a younger lad, and now he looks older than me. What's going on, Phil? First I thought it was you, and then now it's him. Maybe I'm just impetuously young.
Yeah. You haven't aged.
Yes, I have. That's okay. I tried, Phil. So anyway, Liam, I just thought this would be interesting because basically, here you were, you went through teaching and everything else like that, but you decided, I wouldn't say late in life, but you decided to take a master's class in screenwriting at UConn and everything like that. And where it's now working off and paying off for you and everything like that, So can you tell me, the road of a writer? I mean, have you always wanted to be a writer?
No, not at all. I fell in love with literature when I was younger. I used to escape into books. First book I ever read, I think, was Treasure Island, and I ripped out the map from the inside of the book because I was convinced I could find where this island was, because we lived by Stanley Park and there was a boating lake in the middle of Stanley Park. I was convinced. So I was a fantasist from a young age, and so it was books before I ever came across watching movies or anything like that. I remember reading another book that was really impactful was George Orwell's 1984. That just absolutely blew me away. Being able to see how you could tell a love story through such a bleak environment was fascinating to me. And then it was Irving Welsh's Trainspotting, and that was the first time I think I made the connection between my own kind of circumstances that I was in, a working class, kind of rough upbringing, and they spoke in their own dialect, Glaswegian dialect. And
which was hard for me to understand, obviously, as an American and everything. I mean, I remember seeing Trainspotting, I couldn't understand a word anybody said.
But the book's actually written in vernacular as well, which is fascinating.
Yeah, that's what I picked up, and I thought maybe I could do that.
Really?
Yeah, that's. I remember having that thought, reading that book, and obviously, I didn't for a very, very long time even attempt that. But even we did Shakespeare for GCSE in school, and I think I was only one of the only kids in the class who actually enjoyed reading Romeo and Juliet. And then we saw the film, which I really loved as well, the Baz Luhrmann film. So it was. I've always had a kind of a real escapism into literature and film.
I think it's interesting what Phil was saying there about vernacular, because obviously, I struggle with this, being an American living here for over 20 years and being a writer, is that, I'm surrounded by Scousers. So, I pick up the ring of the language or the colloquialism of the language, and can I write it? And no, I cannot. But the thing about it was, do I really need to? And it was kind of in theory, and maybe you can attest to this. It's is it good to write the vernacular kind of like everyone else did? Is that good? Or should you just write the story of characters and then the actor can put that nuance and take onto it?
I think I've been told two different schools of thought on that. So I had a teacher on my MA who thought that being too specific with location and dialect and stuff can be quite limiting to other audiences.
It's also a time kind of thing, isn't it? You know, it's like they spoke like that then. That's not how people are speaking now. Or something.
Yeah. But I also believe that when Irving Welsh talked about the dirtiest pub in Scotland, I knew what he was talking about because there was a dirty pub in Anfield round the corner from me, you know. So it was just.
I think I do know that one. Yeah.
I knew exactly what he was talking about because I'd experienced the same things that he was talking about. Yeah.
Well, so I was asking you, you know, like various different things because I thought it'd be interesting for the audience and stuff. So as a writer, I mean, like I asked you, kind of like, what would you say was kind of like your style, and then you said weird. It's not enough. But you know, I mean, like, what do you think you gravitate towards with your characters as far as writing stories?
So I think a lot of them are grounded in working class environments.
Yeah.
So my feature film that I wrote was about a father struggling with his non-verbal autistic son, which is a personal experience of me own. Yeah. My son didn't talk till he was 6, so that was really difficult. And then the plays I've written are, you know, one of them centred in a children's TV show, which is something I don't personally have experience in, but I was thinking the character came along from just a working class mother who was just trying to fulfill this dream, and she, you know, she starts to struggle with her mental health. So I'm guessing that the stories I write are quite human, but I like to take them and stretch them to the nth degree.
So, is this your play Muddle?
Yes, yeah.
And everything like that. Now, what's interesting about Muddle is that, and we'll go into that, is how it was Scratch Night.
Yeah.
So as you said, it was like a 10-minute play that you had performed at the Unity, and this was just like 3 weeks ago, I think?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
At the time of the recording and stuff like that. But the Unity, you told me that they loved it so much that they asked you for what? So
after the show, so part of their night is that you get feedback from the audience, written feedback, which is to help you develop your play and take other people's viewers' opinions on board. And then just in that email exchange, the lady who is the artistic director said that we'd love to see a bit more of Muddles, and, you know, would you consider expanding it and making it a longer piece. So we spoke a little bit about that. We spoke about maybe putting it in the spring lineup, which kind of gave me enough time to think, okay, I can write that in that time, and also have it rehearsed and ready to go in that time, because the actors that I had working with me were fantastic and really loved the piece as well, which helps when they like it.
Well, I mean, that, I think that's where, like, the important thing here is that, you know, because as a writer, you know, always we all have ideas in our heads, and we could read our scripts back and, you know, forth and change, but it's nothing more helpful than when that actor voice, you know, says it. You know, they put a nuance onto it. Like I just said, like, if a character felt like, oh, you know, I'm going to have like a British accent, or I'm going to be drunk, or I'm going to do this. And then they even actually enhance the character that you first created. And everything else like that. I mean, so this opportunity is afforded when they perform these Scratch Nights. So tell us what a Scratch Night is.
Okay, so a Scratch Night is open to any writer who wants to see their work performed by actors and directed by directors. It's a great step, especially for me, who kind of writes very isolated.
As most writers.
Yeah, and I'm not part of a writers group, not because I'm against it, just because I haven't really found one that I've joined. So it was just great to hear sorry, you submit a script. The one that I work with the most is called Liverpool Scratch Network, run by a girl called Alicia. Really helpful. So the first time I just sent a script in, she emailed me back and said, I've read the script, we'd like to do this scene from this script, what do you think?
So it doesn't have to be 10 minutes?
No, you can say...
They'll pick a scene out.
Yeah, so you can send a script in and they'll say, we think we can make this work. So they cast it, they get a director in if you don't want to direct it yourself, which I didn't. And then you turn up on the night, the actors are given it 2 hours before the script, so it's literally 2 hours before showtime.
Yeah.
It's all rehearsed in those 2 hours and then they perform it on the night.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. So I have been a part of that before when I was part of the Rockcliffe Forum in London.
Okay.
And everything else like that, where, like, you take a script in and you get actors and a director and you have time to, rehearse and practice it. I mean, it's fast, it's there, it's immediate, and it's a great time and stuff like that. And it's good to know that Liverpool itself has not one but two of these going on.
Well, there may be more, but that's just what I know of.
But I'm just saying is what's great is the one at the Unity, like you just said, is one that both of them are monthly. But you just said that at the Unity, I mean, like for being local, you're like, hey, I could get a play on at the Unity if I submit, and they actually enjoy the submission and stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, something I didn't know, and that's what I'm thinking. That's great that you're here to share that. Now we also have to say that you've submitted several scripts before. It wasn't like I just submitted a script and they just took it.
Oh no, definitely not like that. So I'd emailed the month before. I'd sent the same script in, and they told me that they were full for the next couple of months, and that I would be placed on.
Yeah, because
like
I think it's like
list.
about 5 performances, right?
Yeah, and then they emailed me about 2 weeks before the show and said, we've actually got a 10-minute space if you'd like to take it. So it just went from there. But that's kind of a lot of my time now. It's just sending scripts out and hoping something comes back,
Yeah, well, at least you're doing it. I mean, it's being proactive. Now, I mean, what it was interesting is like when you just said about, you provided with actors and directors and stuff like that. But then, like, your latest scratch, I'm going to call it scratch, your latest 10 minutes, it's called Corpse.
Yeah.
And this one you ended up directing yourself. Tell us about Corpse.
Corpse is a kind of spoof detective, cheesy show, where
I'm seeing a similarity here.
where they're investigating a fake murder and then a real murder occurs. It went down really well. It came across really funny. So I'd say it's definitely a comedy. The actor who played the lead part was just fantastic, and really took the words from the page.
Don't want to drop any names or anything like that? He's local.
I feel terrible, but I actually don't know.
All right, well, look at that. I should have asked him that off camera.
I don't know his surname. Yeah.
Anyway,
but he was great.
I like it how you described it as a cheesy NCIS show. So you had a show in mind, which shows that you watch a lot of TV. Too much maybe. No.
It's just it's me partner flicking through Sky and me just seeing these.
Who doesn't know about the flicking through Sky scenario? You know, I mean, but I think that's why we were talking about, I was asking you like about the brevity prep reference, because these are like 10-minute plays. Now, it's been my understanding from taking, writing courses and understanding that each scene should be complete in itself, like a beginning, middle, and end, and everything else like that, So, but it sounds really interesting the way you were describing this because it helps with the viewer attention span, doesn't it? It's like we're in this TikTok generation now that people seem to want to take things in short bites.
Yeah.
Except for if you're in the theater with some popcorn.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you get like lost in that? I mean, do you really like prefer just writing just 10 minutes because it takes away a lot of world building, I think.
Yeah, so when I wrote my feature script, it did feel like, oh, okay, I've got plenty of time, I've got plenty of pages here to really flesh out these characters and the world they live in, and that was nice to be quite, poetic with the the scene descriptions and really, talk visually rather than through dialogue, because you asked me earlier what the difference between playwriting and screen.
Actually, that was one of my questions. Thanks for taking it away with that.
And that's what I think it is that the with playwriting you don't have the visual storytelling, so it's got to be all done through.
You can't have any helicopters flying in, no car chases, no
explosions.
Yeah. So it's really just focuses in on character and the interaction of a crisis. So two characters face a crisis. How do they overcome it? And everything like that. That was the beauty of the story about Reservoir Dogs, where Quentin Tarantino took it to the Sundance Lab, and he had that scene with Harvey Keitel and Tim Roth, where he discovers that he betrayed him and stuff like that, and and hey, boom, we got an excellent movie and filmography out of it, So basically, as you was talking about. The performance on the stage for you was different from the reading, and was that corpse being that you got to see it not from the writer sitting in the audience watching a director direct your play? I mean, was it from that viewpoint or from you as a director directing your actors?
I think from having the input of being the director, so I was able to kind of give advice and kind of push the actors in a way that I hadn't been able to do before. So even with like physical movements and stuff and standing in this position and lean over the body in this way, and I had a couple of scenes where he knelt on the corpse's hair, which she then jolted in shock and shouted, which ruined the take and stuff like that, and I was able to get quite a lot out of that. So it's directing for me, it was definitely different than what I'm normally used to, because I am used to just sitting in the audience with me little pen and script and saying that doesn't work.
Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that?
Yeah, so it was definitely different, but I really enjoyed it. I'd like to do it again.
Well, I was going to ask you that question again. Take my question from me. Would you direct again?
I would, yeah. I did enjoy it. But I do enjoy writing.
I mean, but also too though is like, see, it's directing can also seem like a crutch to writers sometimes, because you'll find a lot of writers, especially writers who make independent films. You'll find a lot of writers like, I need to direct this myself because only I know it.
Yeah.
Right? Like as if I wrote a whole nother language or another encyclopedia. But then again is that you get directors who feel they can only direct their own material. Would you be interested in directing someone else's material?
Yeah, I think fundamentally, if I liked the script and I thought, oh, this is something I haven't seen before, or it just had a hook that I was really interested in, then yeah, I would. Yeah.
No, it's just only because my whole thing about it is fresh pair of eyes is always pretty cool, because writers aren't like the divine being, it's not like just because I wrote this it has to be this way. So it's always the happy accidents
I think
that happen and occur.
I think writers can be their own worst enemy with that sometimes. I think we
love writers.
I think I like having that freedom as well, to, like you say, to have a fresh pair of eyes, because I'm not precious at all with me writing. I always think if someone can bring something that I haven't seen and elevate the writing to a new point, then why not? Why would I not give someone that chance?
Yeah. Now, when you talked about the Liverpool Scratch Network, obviously you're saying that these events are free, probably plus drinks, but they are held at different venues every month.
Yeah.
right? So what's up with that? Do I have to have like a secret knock or something like that?
No,
you
not
know,
at all.
Bruno sent me. Yeah.
No, it's surprisingly easy to join. Yeah,
Not surprisingly easy to
just a-
find because you said they never even repeated the venue, and Liverpool's not that big.
yeah. It just requires a blood sacrifice.
Oh, does it?
Unfortunately. Yeah.
I knew it required something. Phil, I knew I'd never get a bake, do I?
They're just trying to avoid you, Chase. That's what.
Yeah. Blood! No!
They're trying to stay one step ahead of you.
Yeah, they knew. They heard about me. So I usually ask people like their origin story, and even though it's like we may have known each other when you were young and stuff, and then time and life happens. So in your career, like in the origin of your career, you said you started out teaching at Hugh Baird.
Yeah, so that came later on in life. So I'd spent.
Your career as a writer.
Yeah. So that's when I first got interested. That's when I first actually thought that I might have a chance to be able to do it as a job. Because prior to that, I didn't think people like me could be writers or could make films, or I thought that was an industry that was...
Yeah, I can't get into that box and stuff. It's so good, Breaking Bad or whatever show I'm watching. Right?
Yeah, I just thought that was an industry that was completely closed off, unless you knew someone or you had a bit of money or whatever it is. So I went back to uni quite late in life, which was completely down to my partner, who supports me and pushes me to do things that I wouldn't normally do myself, which I thank God for her. So we both actually decided to go back to university. She did a graphic design degree, and I did moving image production. And then just doing something that I was genuinely interested and passionate about. Just felt, it didn't feel like I was being educated. It just felt like it was just fun, and it wasn't like school where I was sitting there scratching my head thinking I don't know this maths equation or this algebra or whatever it was. I just seemed to understand it and be able to, and took to it like a duck to water, and then I kind of got the bug then for educating myself and wanting to do more and learn more things about film and write and produce and stuff like that. And so I finished my degree, and then I went to do my teaching degree straight after. So I did another year there, and then while I was there, they offered me a position as a moving image lecturer, and it was 3 hours or something to begin with.
And it flies by.
Yeah. So I just started there, and I taught there for just over a year, and then I decided to go back and do my MA. So
would you say you take like an analyst approach to film? Because there's always that kid who says what really inspired me was my teacher's enthusiasm, and that was always what I kind of aided when I was teaching in FEE and all that kind of stuff, is that you didn't have that. So it's if I walk in, my enthusiasm is already up and everything, and it's because I just love the light bulbs.
Yeah.
You know, the learning, turning the lights on. What's your moments that you love about teaching?
Yeah, like you say, just those moments where the students just it just dawns upon them that they start to click and get what you're talking about, whether it's analysing a scene from a movie and they just start to make connections. And I remember one guy, we looked at religious symbology throughout Trainspotting, and it was just, I could see him smiling watching his screen, and it was just he's got it, he understands it, and that's something that I didn't really understand until I did my BA. I either loved the movie or I was impartial to it. I didn't really understand why.
But it's in the conversation because it's organic, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's the thing about writing and filmmaking, is the fact that it's up to interpretation. And so nobody says that what you just said was right or what he says is right. The point about it is that you're debating it. You're having a discussion, and it's taking you on to that whole nother like level of swim. You know what I mean? And I mean, like, to me, that's what's fascinating about it. So I mean, and coming down to the end, I'm gonna, you know, being that you like film, I would assume, and love film, is that I would have to ask you, what is your favorite film? And this is kind of like that that letterbox thing, you know what I mean? That letterbox question, if you want the red carpet, you know, yeah. So what's your favorite film? And don't tell me it's so hard to pick.
It is,
and it better not be from the millennium.
The reason it's a difficult question is because you might as well say, what day is it? But if I had to pick one that completely changed my outlook upon film, it's probably Eraserhead, David Lynch.
Which he put up here first as why he's a weird writer. His inspiration is David Lynch. Really?
Yeah. Just because when I saw that film, I couldn't comprehend what I was seeing. And,
nobody could.
And I think, and it made me realise that movies were more than entertainment. So that's what I got from that film.
Really?
There's more to cinema than I know at this moment in time. Yeah.
Phil, what's my favourite film?
It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh yeah. Dude, you can't get any better characterization than It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Not only do we see the journey of one person's life, but the importance that we all ignore in ourselves.
Yeah.
Just by being who we are. Right?
Yeah.
Just by being you and the lives that you touched as a teacher, as a writer, you know, you will probably never know. But that's the whole symbology of It's a Wonderful Life. A lot of people ignore that point, you know, like, because if we are so busy ignoring ourselves and not looking at all the little different lights that we transformed along the way, we also never in that position where all those lights can finally give back to us at once in that end scene. That makes me cry every time.
That was beautiful. Yeah.
Thanks, man. But, I wish I would have said I worked on that, but you know, and everything. But you know, hey, you know what? You know, Phil's always a part of the conversation. What's your favorite film, Phil?
Probably Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams. I would not have expected that from you.
No, I wouldn't have had that. No.
And stuff. If you build it, they will come.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice one, Phil. Interesting. So, Liam, I mean, basically, you know, as a writer, as a potentially new director out there, how can people find you?
Instagram, Liam O'Brien Creative. I tend to put a lot of I always call them gigs where my plays are showing. You can always see that on there.
Yeah, I've seen it on there.
Yeah, or Facebook.
Yeah, we're old, man. You can admit it.
Yeah.
That's where I saw a lot of it. I haven't pictures, everything, you know, and stuff like that. You even put clips on there. Illegal. But they're your clips, though, you know, copyright shows.
Arrest me.
Yeah, arrest me. And so Liam and Brian on also, she was in that fashion, everything like that. As he said that hopefully Muddle will become a full-length play in the spring. You know, we're putting the Unity on notice. But also you'll be probably at the next Scratch Night, doing a secret knock and everything else like that, and getting yourself into that location. What, Phil? What are you thinking? Anyway, it's free. For all you creatives out there, hopefully you enjoyed this conversation about writing, because we never really got to, you know, really just sit down, writer to writer and all that kind of stuff and everything.
It's nice.
And,
it's nice to connect with other writers, because like you say, we can be quite isolated at times.
Definitely, it's a very isolating time and everything like that, you know. So I would like to thank you for... What, the isolators?
Episode 2 of YouTube.
Okay, fine. All right. Anyway, so Liam, I just want to thank you for joining me here in the studio and everything. Liam O'Brien. I would say new writer on the rise. He'll say old writer, I've already been here. But one to look out for and everything else like that, But please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. If you liked our conversation about writing, if you have an opinion, that's great. Writers will always love to listen to opinions. But either way you look at it, I'm Chase Johnson Lynch, and for now we out of here.
Thank you very much.